Now, I'm making this video in response to a recent social media trend, and it gained quite some traction, and I think it's still quite prevalent on social media. And it's a case where you find a mixed race person accusing their own parents or one of their parents of being prejudiced towards black people or towards other minorities, right? And this trend became quite big, I believe, on TikTok and in some cases on YouTube, right? So, looking into the whole thing, you'll have to ask yourself the first question. Being a white person married to a black person or to another race with mixed race kids, you're bound to have experienced some degree of prejudice or some degree of pushback from other people, for example, other black people or other white people. That's inevitable, right? So being a white parent in a multiracial family, you will experience to some degree your fair share of pushback. It's not to say that, I think in this case, the mistake that's being made is white parents with conservative views are being branded as being racist. There are countless multiracial families that are conservative, by the way, right? And not all their kids go around calling their parents, or at least one of their parents, racist. Now, when you call your parents racist, you put them in the same category as people like the KKK. So that's something to take into consideration, right? So once this trend began to, gain traction, I began to ask myself, is it conducive to a healthy discourse when it comes to multiracial people? After all, it does seem to cater for furtive thrills, sneaky furtive thrill, the thrill of airing out someone's dirty laundry or discovering some naughty secret hidden in the basement somewhere, right? For example, your great-grand-uncle was a transvestite, right? Something along those lines. But I don't feel it has a real place in the multiracial discourse. And unfortunately, it gains traction because it appeals to a somewhat lower common denominator, at least not if not in person, at least in the mentality that people approach this with. It encourages that sort of mindset. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the matter, and let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you soon.